First of all, I must say it's a sad day in the life of human rights movement in India. Father Stan Swamy was one of the outstanding human rights workers in Jharkhand. He was dedicated to the cause of Adivasis in his area, and his work was primarily restricted to Jharkhand area. Now that is one. Now he was arrested a bit later in this case of Bhima Koregaon. Now let's understand a bit background of Bhima Koregaon. When Bhima Koregaon actually is a place near Pune, where every 1st January Dalits assemble to pay homage to and to celebrate, to pay homage to their soldiers who died while fighting the Peshwa army of mainly of the upper caste, and celebrate the victory of Mahars. Mahars, I mean, is again a subcaste amongst Dalits. So this battle which took place in 1828. On the British side, there were Mahars because British had no problem of touchability, untouchability. They could recruit Mahar soldiers, Mahar, a particular caste of Dalits. While Peshwa army was mainly consisting of upper caste, and there are no Mahars. So it was presented as a defeat of Brahminism by Dalit forces, and Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar in 1928 visited the place, and he paid homage, and he sort of revived the memories of victory of Mahars over the Brahminical forces. So since then, every year, 1st January, Dalits congregate there, and they try to celebrate the victory, or rather defeat, of Brahminical forces. Now this year in 2018, it was 200 years of Bhima Koregaon battle. And so this time the organization was big, and lakhs of Dalits had congregated to Bhima Koregaon. And this time the celebration was organized by Justice P.B. Samant and Justice Justice Kolse Patil. Now, so the 1st January, there were a lot of people who collected there and who were coming. And that time the violence was instigated. Violence was instigated by mostly the Hindutva forces. There are two people, Sambhaji Bhide and Milind Ekbote. So the FIR was also launched against them the next day. In the meeting which took place in Pune, Elgar Parishad, it is called. Elgar means rise and come together. Rise and come together. In that meeting, Justice Kolse Patil, Justice P.B. Samant, and even our friend Jagdish Mewani, they gave speeches against caste system, against the Brahminism and the Brahminical politics which is going on today in the name of Hindu nationalism. So after this, because that time the government next day put the FIR against Milind Ekbote and Sambhaji Bhide, but they were not traceable. They disappeared and they were not traceable. But later on, what happened? Even without the permission of state government, central government, NIA, National Investigation Agency, took it away from the state. And in due course, they changed the whole direction of the investigation. They said that it was a conspiracy of urban Naxals to congregate the Dalits and to overthrow this government and to kill the Prime Minister. On that ground, first 5 of these very top intellectuals and social activists, Sudha Bhardwaj, Rona Wilson, and others were arrested. Gradually, it increased the tally to 18. And of course, Stan Swamy was arrested a bit later. Before that, Anand Teltumbde also, we remember, was arrested. Now, all these people had nothing to do with the organization of Bhima Koregaon. So, Father Stan Swamy was associated with Naxals, and he was arrested. He was that time 83 years old. He suffered from Parkinsonism. Parkinsonism patient, we know how much problems they have in movement and all that. So NIA refused to provide him zipper. There is friends took the zipper to the jail so that he can use it and he can overcome, he can drink the fluids properly. But he was denied all that particular thing for a long time. Now that was one part. Second part is let's see the spirit of the man. Father Stan Swamy, at the age of 83, and then he crossed over to 84. From the jail, he said, even the caged bird can sing. Even the caged bird can sing. Just see the beauty of his emotions. And in the jail, he said, every day is a new beginning. And I'm spending all my time with the prison inmates. And in prison inmates, he said, of course, my problem is there. But many of the people who have been arrested, nothing has been filed against them. So they are in the jails without any proper record, without any accusation on them. And even these urban Naxals, in the name of urban Naxals, those people who were arrested, they were so far, nothing much has happened. Their bail applications are rejected. They are not taken up seriously. And the charges under UAPA, which is a very draconian act, has been put, where the police can merrily keep them, rot them in the jails for a long time. And of course, you must be remembering Varvar Rao, the great poet. He was also old, and later on his family struggled a lot to get him out of the jail, and he is in the hospital. He is also past 80. So past 80, one can imagine that keeping such people in jail who are above 80, who have spent all their life for the cause of the society, for the upliftment of the poor people of the society, for the betterment of the struggling people of the society, one can imagine the nature of the regime. And every time they put the charge that these people had come to murder the Prime Minister, to overthrow the government. Obviously, if we see the writings of most of this, it will become clear. Then Stan Swamy further, he wrote a letter from the jail thanking everybody, plus saying that I rededicate myself to the cause for which I stood, and he appreciated the efforts of human rights activists, and he said the struggle must go on, and we must try to see that human rights are restored in the society. This is in brief, he kept writing from the jail also. So while talking to you, I must say, this must be one of the saddest days of our life, that right in the beginning when he was diagnosed with Parkinsonism and other morbidities, it was the duty of any government, any sensitive caretaker, to get him admitted to the hospital, to give him the proper treatment. And in the jail also, in the same Taloja jail near in Maharashtra, I think it is near Pune, in the Taloja jail also, there are 18 of them lodged there. But they are not permitted to meet each other. Each of them is separated in a different cell, etc., etc. So this is the nature of the regime, and their regular applications for bail are generally denied. Either there is no hearing, or there is no preparation of the case from the police, and other things which are happening. So in these cases, how our outstanding human rights workers can be released, that is one issue. And number two is that how other people can take inspiration from their dedication, commitment, and values, and try to intensify the struggle for justice and human rights in the society. This is what I think, while paying tribute to a great figure like Father Stan Swamy, this is what we can today resolve, that these values, these ideals of humanism, Indian Constitution, human rights have to be struggled for, have to be strengthened, so that we can really get justice to the people for whom all our these 18 people are rotting in the jail. And one of them has been killed in a way, as you correctly said. He did not die. He did not die because he was otherwise okay. And had he been given proper medication and health care right from the beginning, keeping in mind his age, we should have seen long years with him, despite his 84 years of age.
So, what is our office doing to give justice to these people?
This is one case where suo moto, a sensitive judiciary, could have intervened to give bail to these people right when they were arrested. That's my feeling, but that comes more from emotions, more from a wish rather than the reality. Because judiciary has a suo moto power also to intervene. And if you remember, our outstanding intellectuals like Romila Thopper, they tried to intervene in the court. But because the nature of judiciary is very different, so rather than defending the constitution, that is the basic job of judiciary, to defend the constitution. Rather than defending the constitution, most of the times it is busy defending the ruling government, at least till few months ago. So in that case, had judiciary's role been properly played, we would have seen these people out of the jail right immediately after their arrest.
The wording urban Naxal, saying to a priest who believes in Christ, how can a police can even think about such a thing?
These 18 people who have been arrested are not in the jungles. They are not in this thing. So they have put the word urban and labeled it Naxal. Now I must tell you, this urban Naxal is one word. One latest word you must know about it. You know, there is a poetess in Gujarat who was very much appreciated for her literary talents in Gujarat. And she wrote a poem, which I'll first say in Hindi, Sahib Tere Ram Raj Mein Shav Wahini Ganga. That he says that you are calling this Ram Raj, and Ganga has become the carrier of corpses. So she has been labeled as literary Naxal. So, you know, I thought that these people on the right are not creative, but at least they show their creativity in some matters. I must appreciate their creativity as literary Naxal for portraying the society in showing the mirror to the society. She is being called literary Naxal. Quite a achievement on this ideological front from the far right in India.
So what kind of an Naxal are you?
Now that's a serious question. Of course, I have deeper understanding. In my understanding, Marxism is seeped very deeply. Ambedkar is also very much there, and Gandhi is also very much there. So I must be very honest about it, that beginning from Marxism, there is an element of Ambedkar to a great extent, and also of Gandhi to a great extent. So I don't believe in exclusionism as far as ideology is concerned, because like what Marx envisaged in his times was absolutely true, and the type of humane society he dreamed was absolutely brilliant. But the type of production process, because his conceptualization was built around the process of production, industrial production and large labor force, big factories. Now that has changed. Now the time has come where AI, artificial intelligence, may replace the rebel power. So what will you do? And then India's caste system, then India's colonial system. There, that's where if we regard, today I feel that the basic understanding of Marx, of class struggle, the interest of the capitalists, interest of the corporates is one thing. Second, the rigid caste structure, which is not allowing the society to change, and people are trying to enforce it through communal politics. And third, the colonial impact against which Gandhi struggled. All synthesis of all these three streams is very important for changing the society in current society.